question like that. If you just
Yeah. No, go ahead. Keep going. I'll let
your
uh I'll let Tracy and
your,
Desiree in.
your choice.
It's just funny because 'cause when you talk with all the other coaches, you're like, oh, when everyone joins, you want to be smiling, you want to do win shares, you want to have all this fun, and I'm like not feeling good. And I'm like trying to like pull it all together. Tracy, Desiree,
You're
hello.
good. Might give you a bit of energy back.
Hi.
Hello.
I've been dealing with headaches and migraines, not feeling the best so far this morning, and I'm still here to try and help however I can. We're gonna make it through one way or another. I thought either Caitlin or maybe Michael Stubbs might join in and help out as well, but with that being said, my win share is I had a lot of great one-on-ones with a lot of really great people this week. And I feel like I've helped a lot and provided a lot of value, and that makes me feel really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ben, Tracy, Desiree, do you guys have any wins for this week so far?
I got 2 deals in.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh, when did that happen? Were they like same days? Were they follow-ups? Like, tell me more.
We had a big 3-day event last week, so got a bunch of deals in last week. I'm a setter mainly for the company, but when we have these huge events, I take on closing as well. And so I got a few last week and then one Monday and one Wednesday.
Wait, closing too?
Yeah.
Desiree, let's
Yeah.
go. That's so exciting. How, like, oh my gosh. How does that make you feel? How much momentum do you feel like you have going into the weekend and like the rest of the month?
I feel like I have lots of momentum going into the rest of the month, so feeling great. For sure. Tired this morning, but it's because it's been a long morning already. But other than that, I'm pumped.
Positive vibes, just keeping it going. I love that. Tracy, what's going
Yeah.
on? How are you, Tracy? How are things going over there with the offer and everything?
Yeah, I'm in my third week now. I don't think I have any win compared to what
Nice.
Desiree is sharing. So I am just happy to sit and just chill out while you guys kind of raise your meeting up and do all the things.
Very nice. Very nice. I know that you had a few other things on your plate over there, handling those things, but I'm happy to hear that you're doing well. Harshal, what's going on, my friend? Nice to meet you.
Hi, Corbin. I'm good. Yeah, so
Well,
it's day
welcome.
4. Yeah, it's officially day 4, and I'm into the course right now. I'm doing the 10-day challenge, which is completing the course, make sure you're certified, and can get an entry into the pipeline, the recruiting pipeline. So yeah, I'm looking forward for that.
Man, that's extremely exciting, and I'm happy to see you here. This is the lowest that you're going to see me. I've been dealing with being sick and having really bad migraine most of the morning, but I'm
Oh,
here to help because I don't like not showing up. And sometimes being at 10% or 20% is better than just leaving everybody on red and not responding. And you know what I mean? Like there's two ways to kind of handle that. So I'm more of the first. I would rather be here and available and maybe a little bit vulnerable in the moment rather than, you know, and so on
get
these
it. I
calls, we
appreciate it.
normally will do win shares. Desiree, setting and closing, had an event last week or
Mm-hmm.
recently and had some closes and set closes and is at 2 this week already. And she's tired from it, but like we're feeling good. Ben's on an
Mm,
offer. He's been able to communicate more effectively with his management leadership closer to like structure things more conducive to him being successful instead of
mm-hmm.
dialing like 11 times in 24 hours like a crazy person.
Mm,
And then Tracy was like on an offer, accepted, and then got another offer that was like, oh my gosh, I love this offer. And has been like
mm.
dealing with like setting her standard, performing really well. Like Tracy's on it right now. She's grind mode.
Amazing. Nice.
And so as a newer addition to the community, happy to hear you're doing the 10-day challenge. And on these calls,
Mm,
I try to make them more fun. I try to have games. I try to provide more specific content that's
mm,
relevant to what a lot of people are dealing with. And with that is
mm,
DMs. And that could be on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, IG. That could be on your CRM. Someone opts in at 10 p.m., they get an auto text at 8 a.m., you don't work till 9. And then they respond. It's like, well, how do you get
mm,
that to a phone call? What happens
mm,
when people send you messages that are kind of an objection? And how do you send like something to get them to respond so you're not left on red?
mm,
So the goal of what that was for me today was to go into one of the offers or make a game out of it so that we could
mm,
just have a doc of like where you're meeting, what they said, what you're going to say back, and kind of workflow it together to help build out
mm,
what it looks like when I'm DM setting. So I can get
Okay.
kind of your guys' opinions and show you what it looks like for me.
Sounds interesting. Yeah.
Tracy, Desiree, Ben, would that be helpful for right now?
It'll be a fun challenge because I'll be honest, I skipped over most of the DM training.
That's what I'm here for. That's totally fine.
So yeah,
Well, when
I've
you
got
think of
no
DMs,
idea.
some folks think of, I'm going to send 100 people an offer sheet. It's like, pay me $97, or I'll do this for 30 days for free. And if I don't execute at the level I say I'm going to, I won't charge you, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times DMs are even in follow-ups with people you've already spoken to. It's like finding someone's profile because you talked to them, or finding an adjacent profile and sharing something with them. Or there's so many things that go into sending a text. And a lot of times, now that it's 2025, people feel a bit more comfortable for whatever reason opening up in a text on their phone instead of telling you it on the phone. So a big part of it for me and seeing the success that I've seen is building trust to a point where it makes sense to hop on the phone. And then they don't have any walls, any defense, because they feel like they kind of already know you through your text. And so it doesn't really matter where that comes from. It just matters how you execute. And if you can set them from there, great. The expectation is to set them from there. Your show rate might not be the best. You might have other challenges, but the goal is to get them on the phone. And so let me start a new doc. And we can kind of go through it. Would you guys like to do like an offer that one of you are on right now? So it's a bit more specific, like Desiree, Ben, Tracy.
We
Do you want
could,
to like go
yeah.
through like someone opting in through your funnel and like what they would normally say and what you say, and we can kind of break that down?
Yeah, it'd be helpful, I think, to build one out because I don't really ever do that kind of for my offer.
Yeah. So
I
we'll
guess
just go
that's
Desiree, offer, DM, breakdown, if I can type. Hold on. Who's in? No, Mo, I'm not just gonna let your Fathom in here. You have to join as well. That's my only rule. I'm not a big rules guy, but like you're not just gonna have your Fathom join. You have to join too.
do people like set it up to join? How does that work? Or do they
They
automatically join?
probably attach it to their Google Calendar.
Okay, that's how
And then it like auto joins at the time, or once they've added it. He's here now. I'm just giving him a hard time.
I
So with your funnel, Desiree, I know you mentioned having events, but outside of having those like cohorts events, those special things, what channels are you normally interacting with folks through your funnels?
So what we've been doing right now is we're doing a weekly, like we do that huge event like twice a year, but we do a weekly webinar where we're running it kind of using like an introductory for our a new software we created, and then we're trying to get them into book a call to get them into our coaching program from there.
Okay, so weekly webinar. And then how many people would you say attend that webinar?
It's something new. We've just been working on scaling, so 20, 30, 40.
So 20 to 40 people. And then through the webinar invites, is that being blasted through a CRM? Is that coming through social media content?
We run Facebook ads.
Cool. So when you run those ads and they opt in, are you reaching out on your own? Do you have a team of people? Do they get like an auto text? Can you just help me understand a bit more of like the initial, like some person opts in, and what are the next couple steps? Does it go to a Slack channel, a CRM? Just so I can help you the best.
Yeah, so I kind of just look through the spreadsheet. So it goes kind of into a spreadsheet. That's where I look into things. We do have it all going into a Slack channel as well. And then they get a Google Calendar invite. I'm also going back and re-inviting the people. And then I send them a text message. I've been playing around to increase our show up rates, maybe send them text message an hour before, the day before, 10 minutes before. And then after that, I'm kind of like working on sending out different messages for people who purchased the software, people who didn't purchase software, people who attended, and people who didn't attend.
Okay, so why I'm asking for all this context in Desiree, that's so helpful because there will be some folks who are newer and some folks who are like, oh, that's great to hear. Because understanding where you can pull levers and where you can improve. It's the same thing even if you're closing. Like when I was closing, I had questions about I cannot overcome this objection. And they're like, well, dude, your discovery about that sucks. So instead of trying to get better at overcoming that objection, like get better at discovering it beforehand so that you don't have to overcome it. And so by knowing different layers of your process, you might be thinking like, dang, people aren't showing up because of the time I'm texting them their link, when it could be drawn back to like the opt-in and something that was sent to them, or you know what I mean? So trying to
Right. Yeah, that
maximize
makes
what
sense.
that looks like as a whole is a huge thing. And so you said it goes into a spreadsheet and then into a Slack channel. Do you have a CRM?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We have HubSpot, but I
Thank
just
goodness.
yes, all our contacts are in HubSpot. But I've just kind of, I don't know, I haven't really learned, like I put in like all of our notes for like calls and stuff, but I haven't learned how to kind of use that around. So I basically just create a list in Alaware and they just blast that list.
Oh, nice. Okay, so local presence. Okay, cool. So you have Alaware for local presence. Are you texting through Alaware after you dial and stuff?
Yeah, and so I've also played around with the dialing. If I call them like before the event to confirm and then try and get a little discovery on there, or call them after as well,
Okay, cool.
depending on how busy I am.
Got it. So are you open to some feedback? Are you open to me like really diving in with you and helping like
Yeah,
put
yeah,
something together
absolutely.
to see like what we can do to increase and maximize what your momentum looks like the rest of this month?
Yeah,
And is everyone else
absolutely.
that's here open to that to kind of learn through osmosis so I can make this a bit more specific?
Yes.
Partial Tracy, thumbs up. Cool.
Yes, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. 25% Corbin's here. Let me grab a drink of water. And Desiree, when you sit down at your desk and you're ready to like attack your day, like we're in a great mood, we got some closes, like who do I talk to? Who do you talk to? And like how do you go about that? Are you reaching out to like the people that purchased and the people that attended? Do you have that like defined in HubSpot so you know like how to maximize your approach to people based on their intent levels?
Yeah, so we try and like prioritize like the highest quality leads first. So like if they've already been to the webinar, then we know who's high quality based on like them kind of sharing a little bit about their business. And then if they purchased, they're obviously higher quality than if they didn't. And then if they attended, and then last would be people who didn't attend.
I agree. Okay, so with these two specifically, let's focus there because a lot of times your follow-up is what's going to continue to carry your momentum. And so let's cultivate something that you can send to re-engage previous leads. And then we'll start from the top from there with like how you're attacking people that purchased and people that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of folks that I've even spoke to in a one-on-one capacity, like on their offers past 3-5 days, no one's really getting messaged or sent anything. I've had like 10 deals closed in the last 2 days of a month because I sent a text blast out to people with like an update that we had, not sure if they saw it.
Okay, so this would be like a database reactivation kind of
Yeah,
thing?
and do you guys have anything like that at all? Do you do
No.
anything like that at all?
No, I just recently heard about it from you guys, so I'm like,
Oh
I
my
need to
goodness. Oh my
get this
goodness.
added
Okay.
in.
Okay. So for data reactivation is like me hitting up all of my friends who I haven't golfed with in a year and be like, oh my gosh, I'm in town. Do you want to go golf? And they'd be like, wait, I haven't heard from you in a year. What's going on, Corbin? Well, I would hope anyways. So the goal is to kind of do something in the same way. Now you can be funny. You can send a meme. You can send a GIF. You can send a joke. You can send valuable content and point to like an update that they probably didn't hear of because you haven't talked to them in a long time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when people say data reactivation, it's just trying to get a hold of people who may have been lost or thought otherwise. And the frame that I always use is spring cleaning, summer cleaning, fall cleaning, winter cleaning, doesn't matter. Because it's like, hey, newer addition to the team doing some spring cleaning, some fall cleaning. Saw you were looking into this. Did you find what you were looking for? Something along that line. You can also
Okay.
hit them with like a funny meme. like with your offer specifically. Like you can literally go to, I will show you. I will bookmark this and share it with you guys. So like if I like in our last offer, I think Jimmy's in here. We had a closer manager who's the nicest gentleman of all time, never answered frickin' Slack. And so he made a meme like answer setters and slacker draw 25, and he put his name over the top and put that in Slack, and he finally answered everything because like you poked fun at him, you poked the bear, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so
Okay.
like I use this all the time for data reactivation. And why is that? Because it's such a curveball out of such left field, and everyone else is hitting him with like the Jeremy Minor stuff, the Cole Gordon stuff, the like, have you been thinking about this? Have you been looking into this? Did you find what you were looking for? Like trying to get an update, yes or no, either way. And like those work pretty well. But no one is sending stuff like this that like makes you laugh, that like gives you the feels in a good way. So when you're trying to get a hold of people that maybe were lost, so is everybody else. And so I think being different caters well to that. So in your reactivation specifically, I would go for something funny or the spring fall cleaning. And why is that? Because you want to get a yes or a no.
Right.
Either way, like data makes decisions. And so if you acknowledge that, like, hey, I don't want to be the crazy ex from high school, and it may seem that way right now, but you haven't answered me. So I just don't know, right? But like, why can't you just say that in a message? Because someone might have had a crazy ex in high school, like most of us have, whether you're a guy, girl, whatever you're into, right? Yes, Tracy.
You're muted.
Does this work for B2B? Because I'm not sure.
And B2B.
Oh yeah. Why would it not work from B2B?
I don't know. The conversations are usually more direct and to the point and less personal. That's been my experience so far. So that's why I asked if it will work. So if I can just go ahead and I try to be personable, but in general, I simply
No,
cannot
that's a fantastic question.
in my case here.
No,
No,
yeah, and I would
no.
just
Thank you.
very politely, like a feather, like challenge you. Be like, well, why wouldn't it? Is it because you feel like it wouldn't because of the type of person that you're interacting with? Well, maybe, but maybe that person would get a really big kick out of something that you would send because everything else that they're getting is very serious and direct. And if you haven't gotten a hold of them in 10, 20, 30 days, well, what's the difference? Because if they're direct and every interaction that they have are direct, like, yeah, they might appreciate that. But if you weren't able to get to them in the first 5 to 10 days, you can be a lot more creative. And a lot of times that creativity shows like your human side and shows an intent to get an answer, whether it's yes or no. And so, yeah, if I was a 50-year-old business owner and I got a message from somewhere I gave my information like 30 days ago and was like, hey, not trying to be a crazy ex, you probably got a bunch of messages from us, but like, that's only because you didn't tell me no yet. He's probably done or she's probably done the same thing when they were in their 20s and 30s, when they were in sales, before they were the owner of the company. So when you take it to that step, you get a lot more responses than you would think. And it's not like you're wasting a lead if it's something from so long ago. Companies do data reactivation with value drip emails, with text blasts, with all these different things. And if you can hit them with something a bit more specific, maybe a bit funnier, maybe a bit more direct, in saying like, hey, you haven't given me a yes or a no. And so I'm reaching out to get a yes, maybe, or a no. Because I don't know, you haven't let me know. And I'm not going to pull the olive branch away from your hand if I don't know if your hand's there or not. Does that make sense?
Perfectly. Thank you.
Of course. And that was a great question to challenge, right? Because most of the time you would think like, oh gosh, I got to be super professional, super on it with every single business owner. And that might be the case, but everyone else is doing that. So you're going to be like the one of the 100 people that are sending him almost the same thing? Or you're going to be the one person that's like Sending them something kind of funny. Or like, hey, spring cleaning, fall cleaning, haven't gotten an answer from you, and I don't want to keep blowing up your phone like crazy ex from high school. Those have worked for me in healthcare. Those have worked for me in trading. Those have worked for me in recruiting. So I've done B2B and B2C, and those have just, you generate a lot better conversations with people who do have intent and with people who are actively looking or getting a ton of messages. So in this case, data reactivation, being a bit more creative, being a bit more human, I think works very well and has proven to work very well for me. So Desiree, something funny to get a yes or a no, or the fall and spring cleaning, I think would serve you the best.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So from the top, they opt in, they purchased, they're attending the webinar. Are you like setting them to yourself? Are you setting them to a closer? Are they getting closed like after the webinar? What does that look like as a whole?
So the webinar we're selling like a software, but we're mainly like a coaching program. So that's the goal, to get them into the coaching program. So the founder's kind of telling them, book a call to learn more, book a call to learn more during the webinar. And then typically they'll book a call with me first, and then I'll set them to the closer. And then if not, I try and reach out to them calling or texting to get an answer, and go from there.
Okay,
So
so they
then,
book a
yes,
call
and then I set to closer.
to learn more during the webinar. There's different like CTAs during the webinar,
Yeah,
and then that would get to your calendar from the
yeah,
link that they can click to book, and then you're the setter. Is that a phone triage or a Zoom triage?
Zoom.
Hell yeah. Okay, that's so cool because building rapport and seeing body language, that is a totally different game. So shout out to you. If you would like some help with that specifically on a call review, I would advocate for Michael Stubbs in doing like a Zoom call review because that's a different level. And show rates are higher, close rates are higher, everything's higher because you can build so much more trust seeing someone's face and seeing how someone
Mhm.
acts. And you can mirror a lot more effectively too. But that's getting too far into the weeds. Desiree, shout out to you for doing Zoom triages. Not everybody's cool with that. So the goal would be to
Yeah,
get you more Zoom triages because with DM settings specifically, I'm not really going to be able to help you on your call. That would be for another time. So my goal here would be
yeah,
to help you get more sets on the calendar from people who maybe are being a bit dodgy after the webinar or people who you're trying to get back into your pipeline.
yeah. That's my weak spot, is that side of things.
I gotcha. No, perfect. So what does that look like right now? Let's say that someone books a call and they're on your calendar. Do you have a pretty good show rate with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 70%,
70 is not bad at all.
70
I'm
or
not
80.
always going to be the coach that comes in and be like, oh, you have to have 90. Like if they're booking through a webinar through call to action, what does that look like? Are you sending them a message as soon as they book? Is it 10 minutes after? Do you call them to like confirm? What do you do?
Typically I'll send them an email the morning of, just want to confirm our call. Or sometimes the day before, and then a text message if I don't hear back from them in the morning. So email or text in the morning.
So you
And
send
then
an
if they're,
email or text the morning of
and then yeah, if they
or
don't,
or the day before?
yeah,
Okay. This is where we're going to get a little bit higher level because that's not bad. That's like a 4 out of 10. Because you want to, and I'm not like, sorry, I didn't mean to come at you right there. But
no,
like
no, it's okay, it's okay.
if I hit someone up 24 hours before with a double dial and like left a voicemail and then texted them letting them know I left a voicemail like, hey, I had a couple minutes before my next call. Really wanted to make sure you had everything you needed for this time tomorrow. Right? That really helps in just getting them to know like, oh, this time tomorrow. So I always block off just like a quick 5 minutes on my calendar, 24 hours before. So 24 hours double dial. That would be what I would recommend.
Wow, okay.
Leave a voicemail. Yeah, you want to take care of them at a high level. You don't want them to just like show up and you have your feet up on the desk in the office like you're here to help them. and they're willing to book
Right.
a call with you through a webinar. And how do I know that you're going to be here unless I know that you're going to be here? Because my time's valuable. I'm helping a lot of people with a lot of things.
Right.
So yeah. Now, if they just got off the webinar and it's like 1 p.m., they get off the webinar at 2 p.m., they booked for 2 p.m. tomorrow, I would still do that. Just to like have them have a voice to like that you're meeting me, I'm giving you your link. My first email I send you, guarantee it goes to spam. It's 2025, ha ha ha. So like, did you get that? And then they see that they have it, they know who you are, they have your number,
Ah, okay, gotcha.
probably gonna show up a little bit more often and with
Mm-hmm.
maybe a bit more like, oh, I know who this is, cool. Let's talk. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
If the morning of they haven't answered, dude, some people will do, sorry, I didn't mean to call you dude. That's more of a general. Like some people will hit them with a question mark text. Some people will just hit them with a name and a question mark. I like dialing in the morning because most people are available in the morning. Like not enough shenanigans have happened in their day to where they're like frustrated and don't want to answer the phone, right? So in the morning of, I would dial again.
If you didn't hear back from them, you said.
hmm
Okay.
And then text asking if they got your messages. Because then what you can do is you can open that time slot on your calendar or mark it as free, right? So you can always have someone else there in that person's spot. And that's how you start to get really effective calendar management and calendar optimization. Because if you're not getting a hand raise or a sign of life from someone within X amount of time, you can start to pull the authority card, especially being in B2B, like, hey, if I don't hear from you in the next 30 minutes, I'm giving this to someone else who is excited, who did answer me.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
But if you don't do that and you're trying to cater too much to everybody, then they can kind of walk over you a little bit more and they might not respond as much.
Right. Okay.
So if no response from like 3 dials, your text, your voicemail, especially in B2B guys, in B2C you can be a little bit more eloquent. But in the B2C or excuse me, B2B, you can be more of like, hey guy, no answer. Someone else answered. You want this time or nah? Like obviously I'm trying to be funny here, but like you get the gist of what that means, right? Because then they're like, oh, this person's time is valuable, and you're not just making it up, but like, hey, I talked to someone else who did raise their hand, and so if that time doesn't work for you, that's great. Let's work together to find the time that does. But your consistency in communication and how effective you're being at the times you need to be is going to show to other business owners as well. And I'll
I
stop
like
it there
that.
because I've been rambling a bit. But I saw a couple other people join. Samar, Michael Stubbs, Jimmy, Elias, Hafsa, Brian. Hello. We've got kind of sick Corbin today. And so we wanted to specifically help how we can. And Desiree has a lot of momentum. Guys, win share for Desiree. She has a few closes herself set to close and a couple this week from an event and
Let's
some
go.
webinars. Yeah, so we're helping build out more of her follow-up and reactivation list because her, along with other people that we work with here, they just don't have a lot of structure around gaining re-attraction with people who came in previously.
Mm.
And so right now we're putting together what our goals are. And the goals are to get people to show up to the set call that they booked from the webinar, where she was sending an email and a text in the morning. And so since then, we're now going to implement like, hey, 24 hours before, I'm going to dial you twice. I'm going to leave a voicemail. I'm going to text you. I really want to make sure this time works because we have a lot going on. And if it doesn't, that's fine. Let's find a better time. But we're not just going to give you a placeholder. So that way, when they don't answer and you call them in the morning, you can hit them with the Michael Stubbs authoritative, like, hey, look, guy, girl, person, human. I haven't heard from you, and I'm not trying to be that person, but if I haven't heard from you, how am I supposed to know otherwise? I have heard from this person, so let me know either way. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
So that way, like you're authoritative, but you're leaned out. You're not too much. You're not enough, right?
I always call it the disappointed dad text.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Haven't we got that before? Yeah, right. And that doesn't feel great. So like if you're reading that and you made a commitment, it's like the law of reciprocity, like you feel obligated to be there. And so if they have a voicemail from you, a text, you tried to call them, they attended the webinar, there's a lot of context there that you can point to. That's like building trust, rapport, authority, all these things. Does that make sense? Did I explain that okay? I know that was a lot.
And do you mind if I ask a question, Corbin?
Absolutely not. Go right ahead, my friend.
Right on. And Desiree, right now, how many how many days of text sequence do you have? Do you have anything templated out right now?
She's
Okay.
I
using
kind of
HubSpot just
Use
for
it
reference.
HubSpot? Okay.
just for notes of my calls. So we don't really do anything. For text, I've been just trying out different things, but we don't have like sequences built out or anything.
Okay, right on. So if someone's a no-show, I would make like a 6-day no-show text sequence templates where it's just like, one is a little bit more aggressive than the last one. And it's just like the idea behind it is to make them max like 1 to 3 sentences. I would stick 1 to 2 if you can. Um, and build out like 6 daily text templates that anybody on your team can send, like no show day one, send them this text, no show, and then day two, no response, day three, no response, day four, no response, all the way up to 6. And then, first one would be like, hey, didn't see you on. Is this so, is this something you're still looking at doing or something like that? And then the next one is like, are these text messages coming through? And then, the third one might be kind of funny, like, hey, I feel like a crazy ex-girlfriend here. Um,
Told you. Hey, time out. I told y'all. I did not tell y'all.
yeah, the
Thank you
funny
for
one.
reaffirming that, Michael Stubbs, because that's a good one. Dude, like I'm not trying to be a crazy ex, but it's your fault because you haven't answered me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah. Hey, you still alive?
blink twice if you need help.
Think twice if you need help. Yeah. And then the third one is the fourth one is just like, hey, the fourth one should be like an either way statement, hey, such and such, um, let me know either way. Like if you're not interested, fine, but I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time or yours, you know. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Like this guy's actually texting me for a reason. Yeah, it works. Perfect.
That would be the last text, do you think? Like the 6th?
That'd be like number 4. Um, and then
I'm getting this all on the doc for you, Desiree, so I can share it after this. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. I was typing
Mhm.
it up too.
yeah, number 5 or number 6, I would go with probably number number 5. I would go with Chris Voss. Hey, have you completely given up on this? Question mark.
Do you guys
So
understand how much weight that holds when you read that and it's like a stranger who said that?
yeah, because they have to lower their status to say yes mentally, right? No one wants to say they've given up on something. So
No.
that's like the magic text. And um number 6 can be um any word on the above or something.
Hey, I know what it's like. Shout out Marcus. If anybody knows who Marcus Stolote is, really good friend of mine, good friend of Jimmy's. He's worked with Stubbs and I before on an offer. And he did an excellent like combination of a Chris Voss and the funny thing and was like, hey, I realized that I've been sending you a lot of messages, I've been giving you a lot of calls, and that's because I haven't heard from you. So if you could let me know either way, I know exactly what it's like to have my phone blown up all the time. But that's like
Number 6,
it's like a real person text. Like, dude,
yeah.
I'm calling you because you gave your information and you're playing hard to get. So if you tell me no, I would love that. So that I can stop like wasting both of our time.
Yeah, exactly. And then like at some point you'll want to throw in a funny meme because that always gets like funny memes are the best. save. And if everyone hasn't done this, if you're on an offer and they don't have a bank of funny memes, just like go out and find some funny pictures about funny memes about the subject you're selling, right? And go and download them into a folder of like 10. Star Wars ones always hit hard. Um, Stuff like that, you know. Lord of the Rings less so because not everybody knows it, but just funny stuff.
I go as far as sending a Star Trek meme. And then after that, right away, I'll be like, damn, I bet you're a Star Wars fan, weren't you? See, like, there's another layer to that. Like, because you're just trying to get a response. Because when they respond, then you can call them, you can pull the Jake Ferry, like, oh, it would be way easier to just talk on the phone. What's up? My name is Jake Ferry with XYZ Company.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy,
Yeah, but
can I ask you, where do you make your own memes? Do you use Canva? Do you use any websites? Do you use programs? Do you pay for something? Do you use ChatGPT?
No.
Give us the deets, brother.
So I just dropped it in the chat. So
Oh,
it's a
yo,
web,
thank you.
yeah, it's a website. You can go through so many different pictures. You can edit it. You can put any kind of text messages. You can, do all kind of stuff, make some funny memes. So that's one way to doing it. And yeah, give it a try. Just experiment with it.
yeah.
Well,
And
like, are you building trust by just being the direct person that everyone else is trying to be because you're trying to assert your authority into the situation? Or like, hey, guy, there's a lot of what we do out there, and I know what we do is good, but is it good for what you have going on? I don't know because you haven't answered me.
yeah.
So that, like, you may speak with other coaches that are like, dude, why would you ever do that? Like, you're on a healthcare offer, like, you want to be direct, like, you want to be sympathetic and empathetic, and do you know how many of those people love laughing too? Love having a good time, love enjoying what it is that they're looking into? And do you know how many times that we've gotten positive responses? Like, you guys actually sound like you enjoy what you do. Like, you're sending me exclamation points and smiley faces and memes and, like, that just has a different layer that not everybody's really doing. So you can be really good at what you do and be creative and funny in getting people to respond. So Jimmy, thank you. Huge shout out to you for posting where you can make your own memes, because that's a huge thing to be able to do. And that allows you to be more creative, and then that makes work more fun. You're like,
Remember those
damn, what am I
memes I
gonna do?
created for Springs?
Oh my goodness. Guys, at Springs we're gonna pivot here for 2 minutes because this is way too funny. We were trying to get people their hair back.
Let me see if
And
I have
so
that folder.
it was like a comb and then a bald guy comb, or just like the frame of the comb, but like no actual combs. And it was really funny. Or like, don't let the hair slip down the sink. Or I don't know. There were some really funny ones. I can't even remember. Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know when you're gonna lose your hair. It's like what's his name?
Oh, here it is. I'm gonna post these. Someone else can ask a question. I'll just post the memes.
But back to, if you don't mind, Stubbs, because I really wanted to help finish working on this with Desiree.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
up to this point, she's got 20 to 40 people on a webinar. They're running Facebook ads that go into a spreadsheet, a Slack channel, and HubSpot. They have really 3 different funnels: people that purchase and attend, people that don't purchase and don't attend, and people that do one of the other, but not both.
Yeah, there's like
And
about
right.
100 people that are signing up for the webinars, and we're only having like 20, 30 to 40 show up.
And I don't want to step on any marketing person's toes on your offer by telling you, like, we need to increase that show rate, because, like, I'm trying to help you with what you can control. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. So
and
that's why it's like they're trying
yeah,
to get on me to help increase the show rate too by like calling them and texting them beforehand as well.
just don't
I'm
do
trying to
what
help with it.
some people are asking their employees and friends to do and calling people like 10, 12 times in 48 hours. Like, that's a bit egregious. I don't
Oh
need
no,
you
I don't have
that
time for
bad.
that.
Like, dang, exactly. So they book a call. Michael Stubbs, I'm trying to give Michael Stubbs a bit more preface. They book a call to learn more from the webinar. It sets to her calendar as the setter. There are times where she sets to herself to close, or she sets to a closer. a lot of momentum going into the rest of this month from how things have been going so far. So we're trying to get more conversations for her. She was sending an email or text the day before, the morning of, for the set call that they booked through attending the webinar. We changed that to be like, wait, we're gonna call 2 times 24 hours before, and leave a voicemail and text them, letting them know, like, hey, left a voicemail. Let me know when you had a second to listen. The morning of, dial text. Like, hey, did you not? We'll double dial text. Did you not get my message from yesterday? And then if you don't hear anything back, 2, 3 hours before, you're like, hey, if I don't hear back from you in 30 minutes, I'm giving this to someone else who raised their hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so that'll help with increasing show rates for who booked there. We just put together before you got here, or now, I guess, since you've been here, is like, how are you going to structure a sequence to re-engage people who didn't purchase, didn't show up, and we can create more intent from them? So Desiree, what is the last kind of step here that you feel like we're missing? Is it from the set call to the closing call? Because again, I don't want to focus on like how your Zoom triages are going. That's like, we can do that a different time where it's more articulate with coaches who are very good at that. Like the guy who's below me, Michael Stubbs. So in setting and getting more people to show up and having better conversations, if we know how we're reactivating people and we know how we're increasing the show rate of the hottest leads, where do you feel like we could help even more? As Michael Stubbs is just blowing up Zoom with all these funny memes.
Help more with which part?
Well, for me, just how I see it, right? You want to get people to show up from the webinar from booking. You want to have more bookings from the people who didn't book. And so really the only key from there is what you're doing on your calls and what it looks like after you've set them until they show up with the closer.
Yeah, so maybe some follow-up after when I book them with the closer as well. The hard thing
So
is,
when do you normally book, like sometimes you book a week out because you have to, because of circumstance. You obviously want to book within, same day if you can, next day, but within
that
3
never
days
is
generally.
possible for us.
What does that look like for you normally?
So we have like an kind of introductory course also that walks them through the first round of testing that we teach. So we like to get them to go through the course and actually try it out first. So we teach them how to test ads. So that takes about an hour to go through and 24 hours to get results. So that really stretches like the sales cycle out. So
Not
typically,
224 hours though. Jeez, that was a bad typo. Go ahead.
so typically, yeah, I try and get them in as soon as possible, like 3, 4, or a week out.
Okay,
3, 4
so the
days or a week
intro
out.
to the course goes through to them like testing ads, and that is
Yeah.
1 hour worth of like content that they go through.
Yeah, yeah, and then they run the test. That's
And they run the test. Okay, so they become more acclimated to the doing of it between the setting call and the closing call.
yes, and then that
That's
increases the
interesting.
quality of it. What's interesting?
That entire thing is interesting. Because it's kind of like a trial prior to getting to purchase, and that's not how a lot of folks have their funnels set up. So that's just really cool
Yeah,
to hear. But
so it's a really different funnel for sure, which can cause a lot of like problems when they don't have time to run the test or they haven't got to. But yeah, we like to get everyone to try it out first so they get some results and have some like test results run and then kind of walk them through how the next steps work from there.
so the goal is for them to see results from running the tests, right? Or is
Yeah.
the goal for them to not see results and that's why they need you guys?
See initial results and then want to know, okay, well, now I got this, what do I do next?
Okay. So how long is that cycle from the time that you talk to them on the set call and you book them to either yourself or a closer and that call taking place?
Typically probably like 3 to 5 days.
Okay. Not 305 days. See, sick brain not working. Okay, 3 to 5 day cadence. That is not bad at all. That can be a bit stronger in like a 2 to 3, but I understand if people need time, if it's B2B, if they have to apply specific things in the training so that they know mostly what's going on when they get to the closing call. I can see how that builds a ton of know-how because you guys execute on it. You're showing them how they kind of can without you. But if it's 3 to 5 days and that's over the weekend, right now, are you sending anything other than the intro to the course that's an hour of content and they do it on their own?
No.
That's okay.
Yeah, like
That's
I
not like a
have
trick question.
before.
I was just curious.
Yeah, no, like I have before, but not consistently and not right now.
Hey, Corbin, real quick.
Yeah.
Desiree, how much is your offer?
10 to 30K.
Oh, 10 to 30K. Okay, gotcha. What do most people buy at?
18 to
get
24K.
18 to 24. Now, um
It's a marketing coaching
what's the
program.
basis for charging? Like, just like, do you bid it in terms of hours or what?
No, we have like kind of 3 different levels. So we
Uh,
have like the intro level, which is like 9K, done for you 10K. The main mastermind package is 24K. And then our agency offer is 30K.
okay, so you like all the way done for you?
No, the actual most expensive programs are like done with you.
Okay. Okay. And then what do you guys help people do?
We help people testing out like their messaging, their funnels, their ads, their offers, and all of basically everything. And then the agency offer, we help them learn how to do it for their clients as well.
Okay, so you help people get higher converting leads.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. All right.
And in that funnel, there were 4 types that we articulated with people that purchase, like the low ticket and then attend the webinar, people that purchase and don't attend, people that attend but didn't purchase, and then both that didn't. And so getting the people who are highest intent to show up more frequently than 70%, and then getting people to show up in a better way from the set call to the closing call,
Mhm.
and then reactivating leads to get more of those people on the calendar was the goal of today, because a lot of those are using through DMs
Gotcha.
and through like your cadence and that's how you structure it and your timing and stuff. So just kind of putting the totality of those things together for Desiree on her offer, and then through osmosis helping that help other people and seeing the recording, seeing what we're doing here and how that can be helped and applied to their offer.
Okay.
So if right now the average booking cadence is 3 to 5 days, Michael Stubbs, Jimmy, I know worked with you guys on offers, so you guys have strong follow-up cadences. What would you say would be a good thing for Desiree to send to folks that are 5 days out? Let's say you book from Thursday and they're booked on Tuesday next week.
Mhm.
What would you send? When would you send it? You got anything?
So 2 parts to this, but unrelated. Are these webinar leads, are they going to a list?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys can follow up with them and kind of work that list.
Yes. we
Okay,
can.
cool. Are you guys taking phone calls immediately after the webinar?
No.
Why not?
Good question.
Okay.
I
So that's the
didn't
first
even
thing I'd suggest.
I didn't even think about that. Whoa.
So first, like, you got to get them while they're hot, right? And I would, like, if they're coming from a webinar, they already spent what, an hour with you?
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, they already spent an hour with you, and if they stayed on to the end, they're engaged. So I would, like, the goal there is probably not to put them to the test and just get them straight to a closer's calendar. Like, webinar, build your list. Like, closers and setters need to be available immediately after the webinar or during the webinar. So, and periodically, and this is more of like an owner thing, but they need to be saying, hey, and if you guys want to do this, sounds good, blah, blah, blah. You can book a call with X, Y, and Z. And then you guys can be standing by to take the calls of like the best leads. So that's what I'd recommend right now. Later, Jimmy. Is just getting them like on or right after the webinar, right?
Okay.
And then if they already sat through a webinar, like I don't see a reason why they'd have to go through the training unless, that's part of the, hey, go through this, see it, and then whatever. But yeah, the sooner
That's
you can
true.
get them on the closer's calendar right after the webinar, because you've already gone through everything anyway, then you're probably going to increase your conversion rate right there. But so that'd be like that would be the first thing I would do. The second thing to answer Corbin's question is if for some reason they don't book a call, then you're going through the list and we've gotten to the point where you're giving them that homework. You want to get super tie downs on your setter call, right? So that's going to be number one. Hey, so the people we work with are X, Y, and Z, want to get results. So like, are you ready to like invest time and everything into this? Okay, cool. So what I need are you ready for some homework? Right? And then they answer yes. And if they answer no, okay, why not? What's your schedule looking like? Well, shoot, I mean, if this is going to generate you guys more cash and more leads and better lead flow and help you grow the business, don't you think you can make an hour for this? Gotcha. So you got to get like super tie downs and squash the objection of I don't have time. Okay. So that's gonna be number one for you guys. Um, and then try to get them in like next day within 2 days or 3 days. That would be my challenge for you. Super tie downs on time. Hey, you got to get this done, and then get them in within the next 2 days.
Okay.
And if they are 3 to 5 days out, then I would think of a nurture sequence, prop them on the call, and be like, okay, cool. So, um, worst case scenario, we get like 5 days out, you know? Okay, so I'm going to send you this, this, and this. So they know it's coming, they can expect it. And then, hey, ask them a specific question about the homework. Hey, what did you find was this? Or how did you turn out with this? Or what were your numbers for this? Right. And you want to send those next day for sure. And then play it by ear. You'll either send it day 3 or day 4. Couple messages. Hey, what did you find when you went through this? Right. Keep them accountable. And then if they don't answer you back, be like, hey, have you completely given up? Question mark. No, I haven't. Or yeah, it's not really for me, something like that. So that would be you want to ask specific questions. Next day, basically maximum you don't want 2 days to go by with no messages.
That makes
So
sense. Okay.
so I would, and those would be easy to template out. I would have 2 to 3 messages, depending on how long the sequence would be, that you could put like day 1 afterwards. Okay, check up on this. Day 2 afterwards, check up on this. Day 3, right? So that would be
Right.
my suggestion.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
But yeah, the where it's going to start is your tie downs on showing up and like commitment to doing the work so you can get them on sooner rather than 5 days.
Yeah, exactly. I really like the way you put it with like, okay, if this is gonna get you more leads, better quality leads, then don't you think you can make time? So I will try
Exactly.
and implement that.
And you know what's going to allow you to ask those questions?
What?
Your intro, setting the precedence that you are an authority on this matter.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Corbin, that was a long answer, but
No, that was great.
Thank you.
It gives more insight to, like, if I was in a T-ball league with little kids and little girls, little boys, and I was coaching and we were playing T-ball and we had oranges for lunch and like snack packs and like, the juice boxes or whatever it's called, like I would treat them differently than if I was at like Major League Baseball showing up, putting a fat dip in, like making jokes with the guys. So like you kind of act where you are. And so Stubbs is very high level with like the business development stuff and understands so much of that process that sometimes when he comes in and coaches, it's like helping with things that maybe you don't quite have control over. But the goal is to get you a slight bit of control and just an ear of someone who's like, hey, what if we were available for 2.5 hours during and after the webinar? And a call to action during the webinar was you posting my Zoom link and you could join and I could let you in. And I'm an authority on the matter and I'm available now because we're running a webinar. And if you're really intentful on doing this, why would I waste your time making you test it on your own when I can help you right here, right now? So yeah, that would ultimately be the goal. But if that's not something that you can do or something that they didn't know about, like that's why going to all the different coaching calls gives you so much more insight. Because I'm down here with like T-ball, I'm bringing snacks, I'm playing games, I'm having fun. Like I like to make it fun. But Stubbs is going to be very effective in helping you communicate with your leadership on how things can be even better so that both of these things work in your favor. So Stubbs, thank you for like doing that when you come in and share, because it's just a different perspective. So you can see
Yeah.
what it looks like in the big leagues, but like I'm here to help where we're at.
Yeah.
I did
And
call you a
biggest,
T-ball player, Desiree. I realize I maybe did. I didn't mean it like that. You're not in T-ball. Like you're doing great. You're closing and setting. I'm sorry, bad analogy, but did that make sense?
Yes, yeah, that
Okay,
made
cool.
sense. Now I got
Thank
it. I don't
Yeah.
even know what a T-ball is.
biggest thing for like actionable items for you that are within your control. And Corbin, thanks for kind of bringing me back down to earth here. You want to make sure you get your tie downs on time. Okay. Hey, you know, and that's gonna, you know, your intro is gonna be super important. Make sure it's solid. You know, you're running through that. You set the expectation that you're gonna be asking the questions. And then your discovery, where your businesses are at, how much money they're leaving on the table because they don't have good lead flow, right? And say, okay, so every day, you know, if we just increase this by 20%, we're doing X, Y, and Z. So potentially we're leaving like per week that we let this go, we're leaving 20 grand on the table, 40 grand on the table. Okay, gotcha. So we're creating that gap, and then that gap is what's going to allow you to drive urgency in getting them to do the homework. Gotcha. So Desiree, do you mind if I give you some homework?
I was
Cool.
just gonna say, can I share something with you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you're
Yeah.
like, okay, like 98% of the people that do this homework are the ones that are the most successful. And so I'm not saying you're going to be in the 2%, but like if I give you this homework, I haven't been in school for 10 years, but like, can you do this? You're going to be successful if you do this. Can you do
Okay.
this? Like, yeah. So like setting the precedent, it's like, it's not super duper important, but it is. And like, I need you to make time to do this because everyone who sees success on our end has done this. And so them putting it in their head like, hey, so if I do this and follow these steps with everyone else who's done this to be successful, it's the same thing when you're overcoming objections on a closing call. Like, dang, I'm kind of scared. Well, you should be, because if you weren't, that'd be weird. Because everyone who's been successful feels this right now.
Yeah. And that's going to allow you to drive exclusivity in your offer as well. Like, hey, you know, people who want to work with us show an initiative, you know, they work through this, and we want to work with people who are ready to take action. So, when can you make an hour in your schedule in the next 24 hours to get this done so I can get you on with one of our advisors? And just say when can you make time? Don't ask them if they have time. When can you make time? And then
Yeah.
that tie down and be like, oh, and that's gonna get them thinking about solutions about when they can make time to do the homework. Okay, so if we connect, you know, if I were to connect you with one of our advisors, um, is that something that's going to be done by the time you meet with them? Yeah. Okay, cool. So
That's a
And
really
I'll
good
leave,
switch as well.
I would leave you on this. I got like 28s. What did I get, Stubbs? Like 26, 27 sets in a week, and most of those leads from like week to a month and a half ago. And I did
yeah.
exactly what I put together on that doc for you, and I didn't have a webinar. I had a book that they downloaded. Not
Mhm.
talking smack, it's just a different funnel type. And so what am I doing? I'm double dialing in the morning. I'm leaving a voicemail. I'm texting. I'm trying to get them to raise their hand. I'm sending them memes to be funny because they're business owners. And then a lot of them responded. So we're building that out for you. And I would love to hear towards the end of the month, even next week on Thursday, like, did you get a couple more calls? Did your show rate increase? Did you have better conversations because you knew more of what to say? So it sounds like you're crushing it on your calls. If you're getting sets and closes and setting to yourself and it's a webinar and you got 4 different funnel types and like, whoa, like that's super exciting to hear. But like we want to keep that as consistent as we can up here because inevitably there's gonna be a time where it's like, shoot. But if your processes are super refined and robust and articulate and you can do them pretty easily, the consistency in that is what is going to continue to excel you in what you're doing. And follow-ups are the name of the game. It's not always a now, it sometimes is a later. And if you lose them in a really bad game of hide and seek and they beat you, that's kind of on you. So I'm just really good at hide and seek and winning games of that. And that's kind of what DM setting is, and that's how I treat it. And right now, Desiree, you're doing a phenomenal job. And thank you for allowing me to share a bit of insights on your specific offer. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, thanks so much to you guys. I really appreciate the help. I'm excited to put what we talked about into action.
Yeah. And does
Awesome.
anyone else that's here need anything, want anything? Is there anything we didn't go over? You're like, dang it, Corbin, in the whole hour you didn't answer this question. Like, is there anything like that at all? I know Hafsa and Elias are here, but they just like hanging out, coming in, learning. They don't always have questions. They sometimes do. Partially
How's
got
this?
anything? Ben?
Has this given you a boost of energy?
It has a little bit. My headache's not as bad as it was. I couldn't even like, I needed 2 pairs of glasses to see my screen. I was like dizzy. I did not feel good. Um, no, yeah, I think this just shows that taking action and doing something is infinitely better than sitting and doing nothing.
There you
I was
go.
like laying in bed, but that's neither here nor there. You guys are all awesome. And if you need anything from me, I will probably not be around today. Probably tomorrow. Stubbs, Stubbs, can we get an insight? Who's graduating tomorrow? What are we doing on your call tomorrow, brother?
Gotcha. So we got who do we got? Who did we talk to yesterday?
Who did we
We
talk to
got I
yesterday?
think we got 1 or 2 graduation calls
Toyeb.
tomorrow.
The cold calling guy. I
Toyeb is
forget his name.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Toyeb.
Toyab. That's right. Toyab. We got Toyab tomorrow. He's gonna do his graduation mock. And then Desiree, if you want, like bring a call we can review and we can go through it, give you some pointers on it. And that goes for everybody here. Like bring mock calls. The best way to get better is to get it reviewed. Got to get past that, embarrassment of having other people hear you. But I promise you, once you do it a couple of times, you're just like, all right, let's go. And I guarantee your set to close ratio will go up. So, all right, guys, I gotta get, but Corbin, yeah, awesome advice. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for allowing me to kind of come in here and see what's up. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'll see you,
yeah.
Corbin.
Thank you, brother. And with that, yeah, does anyone, Harshal, it was nice to meet you. I'm normally way more energetic and way more outgoing and have a higher tonality. Right now, not so much, but we made it. I made it the whole call.
Yeah, you did. And I never felt it like you lacked the energy. I never.
Hey, thank you. And that's harder to do when you have closing calls and like 6 of them. So if you're sick on those, like that's tougher because you're on the last one. You're like, God,
Yeah.
what do you need? What do you want? Can it take 5 minutes? No. But no, Desiree, if you have any like art like specific questions, or if you do this and a couple times you get feedback that you're kind of like, wait, I wasn't expecting this. Just take a screenshot and show me so I can continue to be like, well, wait a minute. What happened before? What happened after? Oh, maybe that isn't the best thing. Let's do this instead. Because I'm not ever going to come from the place of like, you do this, everything's going to be peachy keen jelly bean. But like, you do this, you're going to have a lot more opportunities and we can work from there. Like, it takes me getting data from those conversations that you're having to make those even better. So this is a framework of how we can kind of start. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ben, what are you smiling at over there? My Man City jersey
What?
hanging up? I know you don't
Yep.
like
What was it? Peachy bean jelly bean.
Peachy keen.
Peachy keen jelly bean, dude. What? You never heard that
I've
before? It's because
never
I'm
heard
old.
anything like that in my life.
It's because
It's
I'm old.
unbelievable.
You guys over there in the UK are just calling everybody donuts. Every time I talk to my friend Jonah or Marcus, I get called a donut. I'm like, what's with you and calling me donut?
They English?
Yeah, huh?
Never. I don't think I've ever called anybody a donut, but there we go. They're probably taking a mick out of you Americans.
No, we have fun. The joke is that I work an hour a day on my last offer because I would get like 8 sets before the huddle at noon and everyone else was Pacific time. So they'd be at work for an hour and I'd have 8 sets. And they're like, all right, well, Corbin's just taking the rest of the day off. He's at 8 sets. And they would like, it was an inside joke. So that's where the donut thing originated.
There you go. Do you know what? In that position, I probably would too.
That's fair.
Mm,
I'm going to probably go lay down. But before I do
I'd
that,
like to.
I know I asked twice already, but a third time, final answer. Nobody needs anything from me.
All good. You go get some rest, brother.
I'll be on the coaching calls tomorrow. Okay, wait, time out. Let me ask one question. Would you be nervous if I showed up to like a graduation mock call? Would you rather me not show up? Because I've had both feedback. I've had like, oh, I would love to see Corbin there, see me graduate on a mock calls. And I've had other times where it's like, oh no, Corbin's here with Stubbs. Like, shit.
I would
I'm
have
not gonna
felt
say
both.
who it did either way, but I was just curious to know.
I would say both. I would feel that added pressure that, another coach was there as well. But I think I would feel more support than anything. You know,
Got it.
it's like Corbin's watching. I'm gonna
I
do
need to
this for
block that off on
Corbin.
my calendar. I'm gonna do that right now because I love those, and that's where you guys really improve. Elias, Hafsa, thank you for joining. Mo and Tracy's Fathom Note Taker, thanks for staying for an extra 10 minutes. I run my calls late every time, Harshal. Every time, dude. I'm punctual and I start early. I never end it on time. We're working on that. And yeah, I'll be around in the community, maybe not as much today, but the weekend. Desiree, let me know on like Monday how things, if anything changed, if anything was better, if you have any proof of like, damn, Corbin so unresponded to a meme. And I should have put the meme template thing on there. And did you get the one that Jimmy put in the chat?
Yes, I got that saved.
Okay, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Have a good day, guys.
Cheers, Corbin. Bye bye.
Cheers.